Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is an episode of Raw Recap. Let's jump right into it, first with the negatives for the night. First off, the match with Big Show versus Mark Henry. Kind of a slow, lumbering pace as you would expect from these guys. Nothing really special, just boring. No build to it, no real emotion behind it. To me, it was just a boring match and definitely showed on the show. Show picks up the win, leads right into Ryback versus Miz. Back-to-back boring matches. I think Ryback has a lot of potential as the Intercontinental Champion. I don't know that Miz and Big Show are what I would pick as opponents. Maybe some people like Neville, Barrett, Sheamus, that quality, Ziggler even. Throwing them up against him, I think makes it look better than against these guys that, I don't know, to me it just seems a little flat. Speaking of Neville and Sheamus, I thought that when Sheamus turned heel, it would be a better character for him. Unfortunately, it's not. He's just as boring as a heel as he was as a face. Even more so by the ridiculous haircut and facial braids or whatever the hell they're trying to do with it. The real thing that disappoints me is you got a once-in-a-generation special talent like Neville, and you continue to have him lose and lose and lose again. The more he loses, the less credibility he's going to have, and fans are going to stop caring about him. Now, losing every now and again, or losing the high-level opponents like John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, that's not a bad thing. Losing to the likes of Swagger, or like Sheamus, people of that nature over and over again, you just become basically what they've used Zack Ryder for, the jobber to the stars. And that's what disappointed me the most of this match. You got a guy like Neville who could be something special, and you waste him by having him lose to Sheamus. Next up, King Bad News Barrett, King Wade Barrett, whatever the heck they want to call him, versus Jack Swagger. Again, no heat in it, no care, no reason to give a crap about this match. Wade Barrett in the King gimmick, I thought it was something that would be tailor-made for him. I thought he would fit it really well. However, he's falling flat on his face with it. He's someone that really could be a top upper echelon talent. Injuries and such have made it where he's not lived up to his potential as of yet. Barrett picks up the win. I just wasn't feeling the match. Next up, we have what would normally be this segment, the worst match of the night. However, I'm replacing it with the worst segment of the night. Considering there was 4 really bad matches, actually 3 bad matches, and one that the Neville and Sheamus I couldn't get behind it because of what it was. But the worst segment of the night is Dolph Ziggler and Lana, your perplexing duo, pronouncing that they're boyfriend and girlfriend even though they've been so for weeks on the show. I don't get it. It brings out Rusev, who still has feelings for Lana, I guess is what they're doing. And then Summer Rae coming out with Rusev. Ziggler and Lana don't fit together. It's not that they're both bad. Ziggler is better with someone like an AJ Lee, who worked very well with him, or when he was a boy toy for Vicky Guerrero, which actually worked really well. Lana would be better served with a Wade Barrett type, or a Cesaro, someone a little bit more serious, more fitting her style. Rusev and Summer Rae, I think they're going to work well. They're both heels, and they both have, that similar, I don't know, Summer's got the, basic Rusev wants to destroy America, and Summer has the just being pure evil in her. So I think they might work together. I think this segment was terrible. This was soap opera wrestling at its worst, and really just it left a bad taste in my mouth. This is the kind of thing that when I show friends that are not wrestling fans wrestling, that embarrasses me. It really does. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go into our question of the week. Question of the week from last week was, what do you think of the new show format? Now, we got some answers from our friends before I get into what I'll say about it. First is from our friend Steve Tatanani. George, I like the new format. You cover all bases. Look forward to next week's show to find out why the change in setting. Of course, what I am referring to is the no posters in the background. Paige and Dusty Rhodes. R.I.P. Dusty. Didn't notice. Now I'll explain it in a minute. Next up is from Joseph Hatcher. I like it. I'm glad you kept the question of the week on the show. It's pretty cool, man. Next up, our friend Dizzle Pup. Stoked you kept question of the week, George. One of my favorite things is hearing others' thoughts on wrestling, so it is cool to have. Great to have you back. Watching the show after I watched Raw has become a routine. Thank you for that. From our friend Mike Kirwan. I like the new format. It's great to see you back, man. Thank you again. Next up is from Chris Korb. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I like it. I like the best and worst match tonight, and I like you kept the question of the week on the show. And last but not least is from Christian. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name. Christian, you know who you are. You sent me this on Twitter. For the question of the week, I love the new recap format. The best and worst match of the night is great. Maybe you can add a new segment called How I Would Have Booked Raw. Regards from Chile. That's awesome. We got a friend from Chile commenting in and watching Raw. It's really a global sport, a global thing. It's always fun to hear from people in all different parts of the world, not just America, see what their views are, see what other opinions are. So I appreciate you commenting. Now, we're going to get into a couple things. The reason for the format change, A, the 20-minute show was becoming a burden to record. It takes a while to record, it takes a while to edit, it takes a while to upload. And yes, I don't do much editing. Basically, it's a one-take show, but putting on the beginning, the ending, all that, you get the picture. Now, the reason some of the changes were, I trimmed a lot of the fat out, got rid of the segments that previously we'd cover, but really don't mean anything to the show. They're not advancing storylines, they're not helping bad or good. I did want to keep in the facts of the really bad stuff and the really good stuff, and cover that, because there's a reason why I do this. I cover it for those reasons. What's really good, what's really bad. I prefer the whole show to be really good, would be better for me, probably better for you guys as well. But for reasons of the show, we got to point out the things we don't like as well. Now, Steve, as for the posters being gone, I figured with a new format, I was going to try a new setting. We stripped down the show, so we stripped down the posters. Who knows, I might bring it back, I might decide to change it. You never know, you might tune in one week and the couch may be gone. Just saying, it's more or less I was thinking of ways to distance and show that this is something brand new, that this is a new format, a new show moving forward, not the same old heel heat. Not that there was anything wrong with heel heat before, but this is a rebirth. This is a new beginning, new look, new format. So make it all better for myself and for you guys as well, hopefully. Now, coming off of that, the question of the week for this week. We got 3 guys that are near the end of their career, 3 monsters: Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane. Out of the 3 of them, kind of not been very productive or very entertaining to a point. Out of the three, Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane, who would you let go and who would you keep? Would you let all three go? Would you keep all three? Would you keep just one? Let me know what you think, because I believe that you need some monsters and they don't really have any young ones. So you gotta maybe keep one of these guys. But let me know what you think. Hit us up on our Facebook, hit us up on Twitter, put it down in the comments down there below the video. Also hit like and share while you're at it. Get the word out there. Get the new format out to the world. Now, coming from that, we're going to cover our positives for the night. Basically, one of my two favorite matches, the other being the match of the night, was the Lucha Dragons and the Primetime Players versus the New Day and Bo Dallas. I thought this was cool. I thought it was fun. I thought there was a lot of good interaction between the two teams and New Day and Bo. I think Bo should just become part of New Day. I think it would fit well. Maybe they recruit him in. Maybe it becomes a four-man stable. Maybe just as a mouthpiece. I liked it. I liked where they went with it. I liked how it played out. I liked the Lucha Dragons and the Primetime Players winning. This was showing what you could do when you're having fun out there. And this was a fun, enjoyable match. Now, coming off of that, the promo of the night. Honestly, I'm going with Seth Rollins and his Bob Barker impression in the beginning of the show. Giving J&J Security the Cadillac, giving everybody Apple iWatches, giving Kane a trip to Hawaii. I thought it was a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny, may have drug on a little bit too long, but I liked it. I liked what they're doing with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is becoming more of a person. You're getting more sides to his personality. You're seeing different things, different ways that he's going to try and keep the world title around his waist. And anytime you do that, anytime you give a young talent a chance, I think you hit it out the park. It may have went a little bit long for my liking, but all in all, I thought it was a great segment. And plus, who doesn't love Cadillacs? Last but not least, our match of the night. I'm picking John Cena versus Cesaro in the Cena US Open Challenge. I loved it. Everything from the beginning, where we were swerved with the Kevin Owens coming out to potentially wrestle Cena. I was on the edge of my seat, ready to go, and then Kevin Owens bowing out and saying he's going to wait till Battleground in perfect heel form, in perfect Kevin Owens form, leaving it open for Cesaro to answer the challenge and come out, challenge Cena, only to have Kevin Owens interfere and cost the whole match because he thought Cesaro might potentially win. I thought the whole thing fit into John Cena's character and Kevin Owens' character perfectly. This is the kind of thing that'll help sell you on their match and on their rivalry. And it helped me. I thought it was awesome. My match of the night, Cesaro versus John Cena. Now, coming from that, there's only one thing left to do, and that's the ratings for the show. Now, if you've watched the show before, or even if you haven't, we have a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. A 1 is a Brock Lesnar, 2 is a Randy Orton, 3 is an R-Truth, 4 is a Heath Slater, 5 is a Los Matadors. I'm giving the show a 1, a Los Matadors. Really, the opening segment and the 2 matches I just mentioned were the only real high points of the night. Even the main event fell really flat. It was very anticlimactic. You knew what was going to happen. You knew Bray Wyatt would get involved. You knew that it would just end up being a schmoz. To me, it was anticlimactic. And there's a reason I didn't even put it on here, because it didn't mean anything. It didn't advance any feud other than maybe Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. It just was your standard, let's put 4 guys in the main event, have a match. So all in all, I give the show a 1, a Los Matadors. Probably one of the worst Monday Night Raws I've seen in a while. But hey, every once in a while they gotta throw out stinkers too. Even Babe Ruth struck out every now and then. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Raw Recap.